Hello everyone, it's Robin's guy. Welcome back to another video. If you're new, welcome. I showcase my portfolio and my gains and losses for the day. So in today's video, we're going to talk about what I'm going to do with my Palantir shares and my calls that I currently have. We're also going to talk about what I predict will happen next week. Okay, before we get into the video, please hit the subscribe button. Please give a like if you like my content and you want to keep following me on my daily videos. Okay, so let's look at my portfolio. So still in the past year, around 60%. This past week, I have taken a pretty big hit, and that's because I have all my money in Palantir, and Palantir has been going down a lot last week. So I'm expecting next week to bounce back or start having some good news. So as you can see, on the last day of the year, my portfolio went down even more. But I've been selling covered calls, and I managed to sell a covered call on Friday and close it that day, make an extra $840 for that day. Overall for the week, I think I've made somewhere around 3,700 or 3,800 in premium. So for those of you that don't know what covered calls are, basically means for every 100 shares that you have, so in this case I have 6,000 shares. For every 100 shares, you can sell one contract or one option, and that's sell, so not buy. Notice how over here I'm buying options. So when you do covered calls, you're selling options. So for example, let's say I were to click here and then I go to trade options, and then for next week, let's say I want to sell the 24 strike price. I wouldn't do this one because my entries at 28.30, so I would actually pick 28.50. But all right, let's do 28.50. So for every one contract that I sell, I'll get $17 for just pretty much just selling this contract to someone, and then they'll pay me $17 for this. So since I have 6,000, I can sell 60. So next week I can cash in about 1,000 of this is called premium. So pretty much I would make this $1,000 whether or not Palantir hits 28.50 next week. If Palantir just flatlines, then most likely I'll make this money a lot faster. If it starts shooting up, then I'll have to most likely wait till expiration till like I can actually keep this full amount if I wanted to. So basically, when you sell a covered call, you're saying you don't expect the stock that you're selling covered calls on to hit a certain strike price. So in this case, I don't expect it to hit 28.50. It even tells you right here, like 28.50. You can see it right here. It says chance of profit is 90%. So that the chance of me making that $1,000 is, oh sorry, this is 92%. I was looking at 28. The chance of me making that $1,000 is 92% for next week. So that's why people who buy weekly calls, they usually end up losing their money or getting burned because they're kind of risking, like the premium, which is what they're paying whoever sells the calls to them. They're paying that much money, and then they're kind of risking it because it's within a week, so it's pretty fast. But since you're the seller, you have a higher chance of making that money and keeping it without anything happen. If Palantir does hit that strike price that you select, so in this case, if it does hit 28.50, then I have to sell all my shares at 28.50 because I'm putting up 60 contracts and I have 6,000 shares. But that wouldn't really be a bad thing because I get to keep that $1,000 that they're paying me in premium, and I get to sell my shares at 28.50. So I would actually be selling them for a higher price than what I bought them for. So I'll be making like that difference, which is in this case it is I would be making that negative 26,000 back plus an extra, I think, like 1,800 or something, and the 1,000 from the premium. So that's why when selling covered calls is a good strategy, especially if you're holding at least 100 shares. You can be selling one contract, and you just keep selling this every week. You pick the price of like when you got in. So like let's say you bought Palantir, you bought 100 shares of Palantir at $27, let's just say, right? So what you could do, since you bought them at $27, you could sell this 27 call right here, and you have 100 shares, right? So you'll make $29 for next week, just like that. If Palantir doesn't go up to 27, then you keep this $29, and then next week you do it again, and then, or if you want, you can even sell further out. You can say, you know what, I want to make $76, you know, and then you'll make that for week. So the more you go out, the further out, the more money you'll get, and also the more shares you have, the more contracts you can sell, and also the more money you get. So that's why selling covered calls is a good strategy, especially if you're holding a good amount of shares and the the price has dipped way below your entry. Anyways, so now let's talk about what I predict will happen next week. So I can see like four scenarios happening. So the first scenario is if there's any news with Palantir, like a new contract. So if there's a new contract, then I can see Palantir shooting up most likely to the 26 range at least. Right now it's 23.72, but it can easily go to the 26. We've seen it jump 10 to 15% on a contract news. If there's no news, then I could it all depends on what happens with the stock in the morning. If it starts selling off in the morning with no news, I can see it drop maybe another 50 cents, maybe another dollar, depends how much selling off is happening. But I don't see it coming up if there's no news and if it starts selling in the morning. Now, there's another scenario if the market overall is green, if there's good sentiment and the Nasdaq and the tech stocks are going up, especially if ARKW is going up, then I can see Palantir going up just because of that, because Palantir is part of some ETFs, and it may just bring up the price. And then again, if the market is red in general, then I can see Palantir going down, especially if there's no news. So next week is actually kind of an interesting week because we have a lot of things going on. Well, one is the beginning of a new week, but there's also the some politic news that's going on, and then there's potentially more stimulus stuff coming out, and then there's a whole new defense bill that just got passed. It might help bring up Palantir. Who knows really, but within those four scenarios that I just mentioned, it all depends on which scenario happens, and then that's what I can see that will happen with that. Anyways, that's it for now. Uh, I still plan to keep holding this, keep selling covered calls every week until the price comes back up. I definitely feel like as we get closer to January 26th, Palantir would definitely easy be 28 to 30 again, if not more, especially with all that hype going on. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I expect my portfolio to go back above 100K, definitely within this month. So if you want to see if that happens, please subscribe. If you like this content, please give a like, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.